In the main event for the UFC Fight Night on June 17th, we have Marvin Vettori versus Jared Cannonier. This is a somewhat interesting matchup. This is kind of one of those fights that will basically stack up one of your, I guess, resumes to get towards the title fight, because both of these guys have lost to Israel Adesanya. Marvin Vettori twice, pretty dominantly too, I would say. At least like he didn't, maybe you could argue the first fight it was a little bit closer, like he might have gotten around, or at least somewhat made it close. Second fight, Izzy pretty much won all the rounds there. For Cannonier, he did kind of make it close towards the end. I thought it was a lot closer than a lot of people thought, but again, very interesting matchup in general, but I wouldn't say it's super important when you got Whitaker, Hamzat, even Costa is probably in a better position than these guys for a title shot, in all honesty. So, well, we'll take that with a grain of salt, but a very interesting middleweight division, very kind of important main event here. We have it's going to be an entertaining fight for sure. I think so, but let's get right into the early prediction and breakdown. I know after hearing that you're probably not too enthused about this matchup, but Marvin Vettori 19-5, Jared Cannonier 16-6. Jared Cannonier will be 10 years older than Marvin Vettori. I believe Marvin Vettori is 29 years and 8 months according to Tapology, and Jared Cannonier is 39 and 3 months according to Tapology. So Jared Cannonier is definitely getting up there in age. Marvin Vettori will be 1 inch taller. This is obviously an 185-pound weight division. Jared Cannonier will have a 3.5-inch reach advantage in this matchup and will have a 1/2-inch leg reach advantage in this matchup. Marvin Vettori's previous matchups was a win over Roman Dolidze. I thought it was pretty close. I thought you could probably argue that Dolidze might have won that fight, but again, I could definitely see it for Vettori winning as well. Did lose to Robert Whitaker, kind of got his ass beat there. I thought Whitaker almost KO'd him. The iron chin of Marvin Vettori, which incredible chin. But Paulo Costa beat him there. It was a decently competitive fight. Marvin Vettori was basically just eating head kicks, which is absolutely insane. But he did pretty solid in that fight, especially with all the weight problems that happened during that week and all the chaos that happened there. Did lose to Israel Adesanya by unanimous decision, and then beat Kevin Holland 2 years ago. Jared Cannonier coming off a win over Sean Strickland. I thought Sean Strickland won that fight. I didn't think Jared Cannonier won that one, which is kind of a little important going into this fight in general. This is 4 months ago. I thought Strickland beat him. I thought you could argue way more that Strickland won like a 4-1, a 3-2 than you could a Cannonier. I'm surprised Cannonier got the decision in this one. In all honesty, he did lose to Israel Adesanya. Made it close though towards the end. I believe did beat Derek Brunson by KO, beat Kelvin Gastelum by a decision, and lost to Robert Whitaker by a decision as well. So for this matchup, I am going to go with Marvin Vettori. But I'm not super confident because middleweights will be middleweights. They're not the most skilled fighters, but I think Marvin Vettori can get this one done. He's got a great chin. And I think if Sean Strickland is beating Jared Cannonier, or at least I believe he probably should have gotten the decision in that matchup, I think Marvin Vettori can do the same thing. I think he's probably going to be a little bit more technical on the feet than Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland was basically just like wailing punches. He was using his jab a little bit more, blocking a little bit safer than he was against like a Pereira. But Vettori, I think, is going to be a little bit more calmer, going to play for the decision in this match if he has the chin to take the shots of Jared Cannonier. And I think Jared Cannonier getting up there in age, 39 years of age, we don't know what he's going to look like. I believe he did lose his last matchup. I think he loses this one as well. But we'll see how the age kind of affects him here. I do think Marvin Vettori probably wins. I don't know. I think this will be a semi-close decision, probably like a 48-47 decision win for Marvin Vettori. Maybe Jared Cannonier wins like a couple rounds based off of like damage in general. Maybe he rocks Marvin Vettori. You saw Roman Dolidze rock Vettori. You saw Robert Whitaker start to rock Vettori a little bit. Those were the last couple matchups he's had, like a year and a half ago. 7 months ago, he fought Whitaker. Took a lot of pretty damaging shots, and he was like, it looked like the chin was about to break in all honesty, or at least crack. Then fought Roman Dolidze a month ago and got rocked in that matchup. So we'll see how he does in this matchup. I do think that although Jared Cannonier is a very solid middleweight, and I think he's definitely up there in the middleweight division, I do think Marvin Vettori is going to be solid enough to win this fight. I think he's good I don't want to say good everywhere, but he's solid everywhere. Great, not in one specific spot, in my opinion. I think he's a really good all-around fighter, and he's got a really great chin, but there's like nothing that pops out for Marvin Vettori. I think he does everything well, but nothing like fantastic. For Jared Cannonier, he has decent striking, really good power in his hands, but there's again, I just think Marvin Vettori can take some of those shots, dish them out, and win this fight by decision, 48-47. Unanimous decision, this one. Maybe it is a split decision, but I do think it's pretty unanimous. Again, a very weird matchup for the middleweight division. This is kind of just putting two guys in the top 5 and having to face off against each other. I believe Marvin Vettori is number 4 and Jared Cannonier is number 3. So yeah, this is basically just put two middleweights together. Hamzat coming up, Paulo Costa, they're probably going to fight. Robert Whittaker versus Duplessis is kind of the matchup they're looking at for the number 1 contender fight. It's a very interesting middleweight division at this point. It's very, very open. Let's be real. There's not too many contenders, especially for an Israel Adesanya to fight. So we'll see how this matchup goes. We'll see how all the other matchups go. Best case scenario for both of these guys, Robert Whittaker wins. But even then, both of these guys both have lost to Robert Whittaker. So best case scenario, Robert Whittaker wins, or I'm sorry, Duplessis wins and he beats Adesanya somehow miraculously, or Whittaker wins, beats Adesanya, or Duplessis wins, beats Adesanya, and then Hamzat comes in there and wins the title belt, or somehow Paulo Costa gets thrown in there somewhere. You never know. That's best case scenario here, but they're in a really tough spot because, again, Marvin Vettori's lost to Adesanya twice, and Jared Cannonier has lost to Adesanya as well. So, and they're going to have to do a lot of work as well. So we'll see how this one goes. It should be an entertaining fight. It'll definitely be more entertaining than a Aldana Pennington or a Pena Nunes. But I'll definitely like this one a little bit more. I think these guys will kind of go at it. These are both guys that really have nothing to lose in the middleweight division at this point other than like a top 5 ranking in general. So we'll see how this one goes. Marvin Vettori has a pretty crazy chin, and I think if he's going to have to endure some shots against Jared Cannonier, but I do think he gets the decision win, 48-47. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know who you guys think will win in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time.